the third one is the Reformation, the religious movement initiated by Martin Luther King. The fourth one is the concept of mimesis, imitation.
Sorry, the third one is information?
No, the Reformation, capital R. The Reformation.
دكتور لا تسمح ممكن إنه نسجل المحاضرة if you can record that.
Well, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk to you, head to head, so that you can, ask me questions, inquire about certain things you don't understand. So there's no point of recording my lecture, in fact.
No.
If you have any questions, you can ask me your question.
Actually, doctor, there is a lot of students not here, not in this link. The link
I
is here.
know. But
So, Doctor, if you can, please
talk to you, so that this is the point.
record this.
If I record my lecture, we will miss a lot of the content. So the point is to engage in this fruitful conversation so that you can understand, you can come to grips with the basic principles and ideas from the play. Okay?
Yes. So next lecture will record the lecture.
No, I'm not recording, and I'm not going to record it.
So how we can make revision for it?
Okay, maybe I can send you a written form of the lecture. Okay?
So also the student how we'll make revision for it. So the student here just 96. Here we have just. So we are.
You don't have to worry about that. 96 for the first lecture is a good number. Okay?
Yes.
So, as I said before going into the play, deeper and deeper, you got to check these terms: Marxism, the 30 Years' War, the Reformation, the idea of mimesis, and the Stanislavskian theater. All these terms are written, and I will send them to you so that you can see and read them.
Please, sir, could you sit, please, if you don't mind?
The first one is Marxism from Karl Marx. The second one is the 30 Years' War, occurred in Europe around the year 1618 and ended 1648. The third thing is the Reformation, capital R, the Reformation, which is the religious movement initiated by the priest Martin Luther. All right? And fourth, the idea of mimesis. Fifth is the Stanislavskian theater. Why am I telling you all these things? Because you cannot read the play without coming to grips, without understanding them. If you understand these concepts, you will be easily familiarized with the play you will be reading.
Yes, please, the last one.
The last one is Stanislavskian from Stanislavski. Stanislavski is the originator of the dramatic theater, the modern theater. All right.
Thanks.
Now, who is the photograph all around this play? Anyone read about do you know who's the
May I? He is a German writer, novelist. He was against Catholic beliefs, and he didn't like drama theater at all.
Very good.
He is the one who tried to make objective theater, the distancing effect in theater. It's the
Very good. Yes, your name is Fatma, right?
yes.
Yes, Fatma. Now, what is meant by distancing?
The sentence?
Distancing, what is the...
Distancing on the epic theater, the distancing effect, the V effect. It's
Do you know what is the German term for the distancing effect? Do you know the
I
German
don't
term for
know. I tried to read it, but it sounded like German, so I couldn't read it.
Verwendungseffekt, they call it Verwendungseffekt.
Okay.
It is also translated as initial effect or estrangement effect.
Yes.
But the French distanciation is the happier term, in fact, they use. It's keeping the audience away from the events of the drama. We will come to it later on, okay? We'll discuss this in detail, in more detail. Now, I would like you to focus on who is a Brecht. I will talk briefly about the Brecht, and we will proceed until you are ready to begin reading the play, right? Until you are ready to begin reading the play, right? Perfect. Very good. All right. So, in the words of Peter Brook, who is a theater director, commenting on Brecht's status and significance, he says, Brecht is the key figure of our time, and all theater work today at some point cites or returns to his statements and achievements. That is to say, Brecht is a pivotal figure, a very important playwright. He had written many seminal works, influential works, like The Courage, The Life of Galileo, and the Cartesian Chalk Circle. All these great plays by Brecht had left an indelible mark on the world theatre, just like Henrik Ibsen. All right? On the world theatre, just like Henrik Ibsen. All right? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good, perfect.
Yes, with you.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, I remember one of my professors at the University of Stansteria, when we used to take a poet or a playwright, he told us at the time, when you read about a poet, okay, or a playwright, you have to delve deep, you have to check every detail about his life, as if you were gonna marry him. Delve deep, you have to check every detail about his life, as if you were gonna marry him. So, what I'd like is to ask and read about Brecht as if you're gonna marry him. So, what I'd like you to do is to
Yes, means we know everything about him. Everything, every detail.
Very good, excellent. Now, you need to know that Bertolt Brecht was born in Germany, in a city called Augsburg, 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 in 1898, and he died in 1956. So he lived roughly 58 years. And he died in 1956. So he lived roughly 58 years. Let me put my goggles on because... So, he was a poet, as your colleague Fatima has just mentioned, playwright and theater director. So, he was a poet, as... Now, when you say that Brecht is a great playwright, this greatness does not come from nothing. Now, when we say that Brecht comes from his being a philosopher of the theater. Does not come from nothing. Right? But comes from his being. He is not just any other playwright. He is a philosopher of the theater. He is a director, a great director, whose directing techniques had influenced the whole world, I mean the whole world of playwriting.
Directing techniques had influenced the
So
whole world.
his most famous plays
playwriting.
include, as I said, The Life of Galileo, Mother Courage and Her Children, and The Cartesian Talk Circle.
His most famous play.
His groundbreaking
Galileo, Mother Courage and Her Children,
directing style has been hugely influential to many directors and designers over the decades. His work was very, very popular in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, but he is slightly less fashionable today. I mean, he's not as important as he used to be. However, his influence is still present in much of theater, and many would argue that Brecht changed the face of modern theater. And we will, of course, discover all these points as we proceed in our discussion. Now, who is Brecht? Brecht was a Marxist. What does this mean?
Yes.
He was a Marxist. What does this mean? Yes. Could you,
He was a Marxist.
Try to raise the voice. Anyway, Marx, people who follow Karl Marx are those who believe in a materialistic, logical world. They dive deep and most of their philosophies are based on logic. Materialistic history, basically, is to find historical points in life and decide upon how to go on economic things. For Brecht, what he did, or how it influenced him at the beginning of his playwriting career to how do I say it? It influenced him to, he wanted to make people think and change themselves. It is also one of the Marx's ideas that one has to change themselves, especially if they are from the working or lower classes. It's almost like communism. It's so much against.
you seem to have so many things about Brecht, but you need to categorize these things. You need to understand them in a proper way, in a proper manner. All right?
Yeah, so do I want to...
You've been very right. Now, who is Marx? Who is Karl Marx? Marx was a German philosopher who wrote with his friend Friedrich Engels the Communist Manifesto. Who wrote also a book called Das Kapital in German, which is the capital. It's a book of economy. Now, Karl Marx is yet another great figure, a great philosopher of our modern times, whose influence is so great on all levels. He influenced, the world. Brecht was so much influenced by him.
Doctor, sorry
Why?
for interruption,
Because most of the points
but
that Karl Marx mentioned, Brecht was affiliated with them. Now, what are some of the basic points that Karl Marx faced in his philosophy? Marx believed that the history of the world is the history of the conflict of classes. That is to say, he believed that history is only made through a process of dialectic. What is meant by dialectic? Dialectic means when you have one force opposing the other, and with their clash, as they clash, the two forces, another force emerges. Alright? We call this process a dialectic.
Yeah, dialectic.
We call this process a dialectic.
ديالكتيك احنا نسميه ديالكتيك dialectic 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 جدل صراع. So this conflict between the bourgeoisie or the middle class and the proletariat or the work class, this clash between the two classes, produces a new class. This is how history works, he says. This is one of the things. Now, the other thing is that, as a criticism of the capitalist system, and Marx, both of them believe that the capitalist system creates a kind of false consciousness. يعني وعي مزيف، تخلق وعي مزيف لدى الناس. Because, as he said, the bourgeoisie own the means of production. What is meant by the means of production?
The bourgeoisie own the means of production.
Do you have an idea about the means of production?
What is meant by the means of production?
تكون
Yeah, the means of production?
prognostication, expectation.
No, the means of production. هو يتكلم عن الإنتاج يعني على الاقتصاد.
Prognostication, expectation.
Karl Marx
The means
talks
of
about
production.
the economy and the economic world. He says that the bourgeoisie own يملكون the means of production وسائل الإنتاج يعني المصانع, factories, plants, etc. Okay?
Okay.
واضح? Now, the proletariat or the working class who work for them are being abused by the bourgeoisie or the middle class. How? The bourgeoisie is trying to create a false consciousness amongst the working class.
The bourgeoisie is trying
How?
to create a false consciousness.
They use and abuse them. They work for them and they engender, they produce a lot of money. Now, most of this money goes to the bourgeoisie, to the middle class. But the working class are left with nothing, with almost nothing.
To the middle class.
Well,
But the working class are left with nothing.
now, there is a clash between the middle class and the working class. He says, I mean, Marx says that history is the production of this clash.
He says,
Well,
I mean, Marx
this is number
says
one.
that history is the production of this clash. Well, this is number one.
When we mention the name Marx, well, yeah,
When we mention the name Marx,
Sir, sorry for interruption, but can I say something? What about the material or the handout
yes,
or
I
the
can send
PDF
you.
file for
Yes,
this
I can
lecture?
post you the lecture, no problem.
Is it available?
I can send you. Yes, I can post you the lecture, no problem.
So can you in the future upload it before 1 or 2 days before the lecture to
I will send you
take a look
the lecture before I give
about
you the audio.
the lecture in general?
All right.
I will, no problem. Don't worry. I will send you
Yes.
the lecture before I give you the
Yes.
audio.
Just of next week,
Before the lecture,
perhaps I
sir,
will send you the
if you
lecture
can,
before I
please.
give you this.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Yes. Just of next week, perhaps I will send you
Do you
the
have any
lecture
questions so
before
far?
I give you this.
Yes, I have one.
All right.
Please.
So what I understand
Do you have
that
any questions so
Marx
far?
theory actually works on the relationship between the middle class and the worker class.
What I
So they will
understand
solve
that
this problem.
Marx
There will
theory
be no
actually
more
works on
class
the
system.
relationship between the middle class and the worker
right.
class.
Exactly. Very good, Tabak. That's a
There
very
will
good
be
question.
no more
This is
class
what
system.
Marx has been driving at. This is what he is trying to say.
That's a very good question.
He's trying to
This is what
he is working for a classless society. Excellent. It's very good. He is working for a classless society. This is what he believes. Because he says that, as I said, history is nothing more than the struggle of classes. As two classes fighting, so to speak, another class,
as two classes fighting, so to speak, another class